Hello, this is Mark Wildman of Wildman Athletica, and today we are going to work on the single arm alternating pendulum. Single arm alternating pendulum is something everybody should practice. It is a outside and an inside single arm hang power clean. It does not matter what your sport is. You should practice some type of cleans. It doesn't matter if you have a sport. You should practice cleans. Barbell cleans, kettlebell cleans, and club cleans are the most important ones that you can do. Barbell cleans, heavy weight, straight line, straight up and down. The problem is the majority of the world involves rotation and weights on one side of your body. You go to kettlebells, you get curve linear. For the average individual, there's nothing better than kettlebell cleans. You are picking up a weight that is in the range of what people normally have to pick up, and you're learning to not put it down for long periods of time. The human body is very good at something. It is very good at rotation, your shoulder, your wrist, your elbow. This allows us to do things like throw and use tools, so you should definitely have heavy club cleans in some way in your program from now, basically until the day you die. There are three cleans. There is the front clean, which we don't talk about much because that plane of movement is really covered by barbells and kettlebells. Then we have outside cleans, where your top hand is moving away from the center line of your body. And then we have inside cleans, where your top hand is moving towards the center line of your body. Inside, towards the center line of your body, is how most people throw. You'll notice most sports have some type of throwing pattern in it. It's mostly inside. For the sake of your health, you should be equally good at both hands rotating both ways. There are four directions: right hand inside outside, left hand inside outside. People tend to get back pain because they're only good at rotating one direction, dominant hand inside. In the interest of making your body work equally well in all directions, learn all of them. We work on the two-handed alternating pendulum first, then we take away the bottom hand to go to single arm. Point 2 feet straight ahead. If your feet aren't straight ahead, point them straight ahead. You can turn out with other types of lifting, but not with rotation weight swinging. Point your feet straight ahead. Thumbs point towards the sky. Stack your hands on top of each other. Pick the weight up. Elbow touches the body. The hand that we call the dominant hand is the hand on top. That's because we want the dominant hand elbow angle to be 90 degrees. The bottom hand supports. That is important when we transition to single hand from two hand. Start with the easy direction first. Rotate outside. We are not moving our feet. Knee drives forward, hips rotate, upper body rotates. Push, swing, pull, catch. Push, tip, swing, pull, catch. Rotate back to center. Now rotate inside. Sit in your same side leg. Rotate the upper body. Push, tip, swing, pull, catch. Come back to center. A little bit faster. Push, swing, pull, catch. Come back to center. Push, swing, pull, and catch. Come back to center. To set the weight down, two arms perfectly straight, set the weight down between the line of our feet, stand all the way up. Almost everybody makes some very common mistakes in the beginning with the two hand, and it carries over to their single arm, and it means that they cannot go up in weight. The important part is the rotation. Feet are straight ahead. Hips rotate 45. Upper body rotates 45. Two elbows lock out. We are not rolled. Our shoulders are still level as if we are standing up. When we track down, both elbows remain locked. If your elbows are locked, you're probably in the right spot. If one elbow bends, people stop keeping a straight spine and they start to roll their spine. The elbow's locked at the bottom. The weight is opposite of the club. The heavier the club, the further your hip will drift outside the line of your foot. Swing back up, pull it in, rotate back to center. Stand up at the top of the movement. Squeeze your glutes, drive your rib cage down. Inside, rotate. Feet don't move. Hips rotate 45. Upper body rotates 45. Push, elbows lock out. If we are rolled, drive that shoulder down because your shoulders are parallel to the ground. Tip down. Once again, your weight shifts away from the weight. Come back up and catch. The important thing is that this is a deadlift family of movement. This is nothing else. This is a deadlift family of movement. That means knees behind toes, spine flat. When we rotate to one side, what you will see people do is straighten one leg out and roll their spine, which is not a deadlift. It is a deadlift. Down, rotate, push away from the weight. At the bottom, it is a deadlift. Your arms are straight, just like in a deadlift. Your feet are moved, but your hips have turned. You practice a ton of two-hand because it makes single arm easy. Point those feet straight ahead. The setup is the same. People will do the outside well and the inside bad. Point 2 feet straight ahead, thumbs point towards the sky, stack your hands on top of each other, pick up the weight. The bottom hand is going to become sword fingers, but this is still going to allow us to check if our rotation is good. If both elbows are straight at the bottom, we're generally in the correct position. Over time, we take the bottom hand away and we get to our alternating single arm pendulum. Let's demonstrate it quickly with the other hand. Most people need to see things with both sides in order to learn. Step up to your club, 2 feet point straight ahead, feet directly underneath shoulders, thumbs point towards the sky, change your high hand, pick the weight all the way up. The bottom hand becomes sword fingers. Start with the easy direction first, which is outside, away from your center line. Push, swing, pull, catch, come back to center, rotate across inside. Push, swing, pull, catch, come back to center, rotate. Push, swing, pull, catch, come back to center, inside, push, swing, pull, catch, center. Make your arm perfectly straight when you set the weight down. Set it down with good technique. A vast number of people in the modern world have two things. They have back injuries and they have knee injuries, and those things are usually linked to deficiencies in how they move. People tend to move one way really well from playing sports. They tend to have one bad knee and one good knee. They tend to have one bad shoulder and one good shoulder. You should have no strong side. Having a strong side sets you up for injury for the most part. In your sport, you have to play with one side because you're optimizing your technique in order to win. When you train, you should balance your body out. You should do an equal number of all movements to keep your movement pattern symmetrical, because it does reduce injury over time and increases longevity. Aging is a loss of complexity, a loss of ability to move in specific directions, and cumulative injury cycles. Getting hurt in predictable ways and then not recovering from it. Not recovering specifically means not regaining lost movement patterns. The easiest way to stay healthy longer is to make sure you rotate equally well in all directions. When people suffer knee pain, they tend to have one foot turned out unconsciously and they're not aware of it. One ankle is rolling in, one arch is collapsing. That's causing one side of their body, their ankle, their knee, their hip, to not support load the same way as the other side. That tracks up the body, goes to the spine. One side of the spine starts to work harder than the other. This exercise, probably the most important thing, is pointing your feet straight ahead. Every rep you do, stop at the top, look down, see if your feet have moved. If they have moved, move your feet back to the center. Put your toes on the ground and see if your arches start to fire better over time. If your ankles work equally well because your feet are pointed equally straight ahead, then that goes up the line: ankle, knee, hip, spine, shoulder. In order to help people reduce discomfort in their knees, The easiest thing that they can do is learn inside and outside cleans in all of their variations, and every time check that their feet are pointed straight ahead.